Hey, folks. A couple barb eaters there. So something happened this weekend past. I actually got the gig finally after 6 months. Finally got to hit the stage at the old Tolls, and it felt fucking great. Um, Great crowd on Friday night, very responsive. Even though they weren't allowed to dance, they were pretty happy, moving around a little bit in their chairs. But everybody pretty well respected the guidelines. And it was a lot of fun. Saturday night was a little bit slower, but we had a lot of stuff going on in the city. The whole Shanneyganock thing going on down the East End, that was all sold out, and I would imagine a lot of people poured out into that. And with a nice weekend, I guess a lot of people were probably taking advantage of the pedestrian mall on Water Street. Also, I guess some people are still a little bit hesitant about getting out in crowds. But nonetheless, I got the gig with my band, the Urban Legends, Friday and Saturday night at Hole's Time Out there in Mount Pearl, and it was friggin' awesome. So today, I didn't really have anything planned because I never do. It's the whole part of being mediocre, I guess. I want to talk to a lot of youngins, but also some of the older crowd, because some people got some big heads on their shoulders, and it's kind of shitty. When you're a musician or a human being in general, there's nothing wrong with being humble. There's nothing wrong with sitting back and watching somebody else have their time. Um, there's nothing wrong with being supportive without having ulterior motives. And that was a lesson that I've been taught by pretty much everybody who's been important in my life, whether it's my folks, family, friends, close friends. Stay humble, and the people that stay humble and the people that stay kind of in tune with everybody and keep a level head and sort of fly right, they're the ones that stick around. So let that sink in for a little bit, because after a while, when you've got an ego, and there are a few people out there, man, that are just fucking awful, um, with their stupid swollen heads and can't keep bands together for shit. Especially when they put the band together with a bunch of dickheads with the same ego. You gotta stay humble. And I said it before, help everybody out. If you can help someone out, man, it only makes it better for you in the end. So you don't want to be a shit mop and, try to take over somebody's whatever they're doing when it's their moment. Just remain humble. Just sit back and enjoy it. Because, reason being, nobody gives a shit. I don't care. I don't care what you can do. It's like guys going into a guitar shop who've been playing 30 years, and you got one guy who's been playing 6 months. He knows a couple chords, um, and he's just starting to learn some scales, and he's got the intro to Crazy Train down. And some guy who's been playing 50 years comes in and starts flying all over the fretboard because it makes him feel better about himself that he did that. That's not cool. That doesn't make you a good player or a good musician. Uh, that makes you somebody who's a show off, and that's the only way I can describe it. If you got to put yourself up against kids or amateurs or people who aren't professional to make yourself feel better, um, you shouldn't be at this, because you know what, you're no different than the rest of us, because if you were as special as you thought you were, you wouldn't be playing the same venues we are, and in some cases not even playing the same venues we are, because you and your dickhead friends can't get a gig. And I'm being blunt about this one because it's something that I feel about. And if you walk into a bar and there's a band playing, here's the struggle for some of these musician types. They'll look at a band that has 4 or 5 mediocre players in, or 4 or 5 average people in it, and they're good players. Everybody is pretty good. Everybody's pretty solid, but they might not be up to that one guy's level who's in there criticizing the shit out of them. But you can take 4 or 5 people that aren't the greatest musicians, arm them with the right set list and the right attitude, and they will smoke your music degree ass right out of the club or your swollen head any given day. Because I've seen that as well, where bands go in and they play a set list of musically intricate songs, things that are complicated with the wow factor for other musicians. You want to do that, keep that shit for venues like the Black Sheep, where you play for the door, and you know what? You can invite your friends down and it's your show. Nothing wrong with the Black Sheep. They promote and support a lot of bands, and that's a good thing. But they also let people who, what am I trying to say here? Who are kind of not playing to bar beater standards, they give those guys a chance as well. Because not everybody wants to do this, and not everybody's doing it for the same reasons the rest of us are doing it. Some people want to play really great songs, they don't care if they get paid. And that's admirable. If you want to put into work and you want to go do that and play in a bar, I mean, if you're playing the Black Sheep down around George, used to be the Fat Cat, that bar has history. And it's a great place to play, and I've loved playing there. And just, for me and my swollen head, we were the last band to play the Fat Cat. But we soaked it up and relished in the fact that we played there. Didn't go around town telling everybody. Not that anybody probably would have cared, but anyway. So keep your head on your shoulders and out of your ass. That's just being a good human being. Don't go in because you've been playing 50 years and look at a band that's probably been together a couple months and start shitting all over them. If they've got people on the dance floor and they're playing gigs and you're not, guess who's better? Not you, because you're not playing. And an example of that, we played a gig, and a guy came up to the stage after we'd done a song and said to us, started giving us advice. Our bass player at the time asked him who he was. He said, well, I'm a musician. And he goes, really? Well, why aren't you playing tonight? And he's like, well, I don't have any gigs. So it's great to be constructive in your criticism, but don't talk down to people. Don't try to come in and go, well, I'm going to smoke these guys. If somebody's an amateur, don't come in and say, well, you know what, I've played all these gigs and I'm great, and try to smoke them. Encourage it. You're getting paid to go out and play. You don't need to get adulation just because. So, keep that shit home, and troll on Facebook or whatever it is, you 41-year-old guys who live with your folks and eat fish sticks that your mom just cooked for you do, and smell like fucking old socks and farts and disappointment. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Sorry for the bar beater shit in the beginning. I had nothing prepared. Keep supporting everything live. I know Don's probably already doing it, but he's got his Saturday Night Cure on Sunday night because Don's been busy playing. God love him. God love Cripple Creek. Those guys have had a few gigs now, and you know what? If you see their name on a bill, go see them. If you see anybody's band, advertise to play somewhere, go see them. We're all dying here. The venues are in trouble. I saw that the weekend. The venue we played, we had a great weekend personally, but the bar itself, with the restrictions and capacity restrictions, those guys are hurting. The staff are hurting because they're losing tips, they're losing hours. If you can get out and support it, support it. Don't let it die. For Christ's sakes, don't let it die. And for fuck's sakes, don't leave it all to the Irish music. Okay, I'm gonna take off the armor. I put it on last week, and this one goes out to all the Irish bands. You guys are cover bands. You're the only people that'll pay $10,000 to record covers. So stick that in your craw. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend.